to gain weight safely. All too often, people are worried about the struggle to lose weight. We are bombarded with weight loss ads, gym membership deals, and ways to eat healthy. Speaking of which, why don't you check out our videos about eating healthy after this one? Anyway, getting back to the issue at hand, while losing weight is a valid and common issue in today's world, there's another side of the scale. Folks who want to know how to gain weight. No matter what you weigh, there's a Bestie video for everyone. Hit subscribe and click the notification bell too so you never miss your next favorite video. You may be thinking, why would I possibly want to gain weight? Well, it's actually a pretty common thing. There's a lot of reasons people struggle with weight gain. It could be to build muscle mass. It could be a body image thing. We all want to gain or lose a few extra pounds. And since everyone's metabolism runs at a different speed, it may be harder for some to hit their desired weight, whether it's loss or gains. It could also be something health-related. When you're sick, a common side effect is losing weight, and folks who have gone through something that caused them to shed a few pounds may need to get it back on their road to recovery. For all these reasons and more, gaining weight can be a struggle for some. Being underweight can cause health issues as well. It's not just overeating we should be concerned about. Plus, women and girls are 2 to 3 times more likely to struggle with weight gain, according to the CDC. Since being overweight is a more pressing issue, we don't often hear about the health effects of being underweight. However, it could be just as bad. According to a study published in PubMed, being under the recommended weight showed a possible 140% greater risk of early death in men and a 100% greater risk early death in women. There's other issues too. Healthline cites a few studies that say undernutrition can affect your immune system, cause fertility problems, possibly cause osteoporosis and fractures, and cause a greater risk of infections. Not to mention the possible increased risk of dementia. Okay then, with keeping your health top of mind, here are some safe and healthy ways to get your gains. First things first, you need to know if you're actually underweight, or if your weight is an issue. There's something called a body mass index, or BMI. BMI can tell us if we're in the average, underweight, or overweight category. Keep in mind, it's not completely accurate, as it only takes into consideration your height and weight. There's no account for muscle mass or different body types. You could be somewhere in these numbers and be perfectly healthy. It's all on a case-by-case basis. If you are concerned and want an accurate reading, best to see a professional. The average BMI reading for someone who is in the suggested average weight is anywhere from 18.5 to 25 BMI. This means if you're under 18.5 on the BMI scale, you're classified as underweight. Again, always best to get a second opinion when it comes to your health. But if you've discovered you need to put on a few pounds, we have some great tips on gaining weight safely. We don't mean a diet of cake, soda, and ice cream either. This isn't a free pass to eat whatever you want, unfortunately. We're sad too, pizza Fridays are the best. If you're underweight, you want that type of fat that's going to help build muscle, not belly fat. This goes double for those dealing with diabetes. The last thing you want to do is up your sugar intake or neglect a healthy diet. Plus, forming these good eating habits now will only improve your health in the long run. Healthline says to gain weight slowly, but consistently. You should aim to increase your calorie intake by 300 to 500 daily. This means 300 to 500 more calories than you burn each day. If you want to speed up the process a bit, aim for the 700 to 1,000 caloric intake range. Counting calories is a really easy way to keep track of how much you're eating and improving. You can keep a calorie journal or use a calorie calculator on the internet. Either way, it's a concrete way to keep you on the right track and will hopefully inspire you to stick to the plan. If counting calories sounds like a difficult thing, don't worry. You'll get really good at it quickly and won't have to be counting forever. This is just a great way to get started, or you can create your own method. Now that you have a plan in place and are going to avoid the unhealthy route by eating chips and sugary stuff, what should you actually be eating? You may have heard this in the weightlifting community before, but it's all about the protein. In order for you to build muscle, you need lots of this stuff. That's what muscles are made of. literally. If we didn't have protein to build muscle, then all these extra calories would probably just end up as fat. Eating a diet that's high in protein will encourage your body to take all those calories you're putting into your body and turn them into muscle mass. Some foods high in protein are fish, eggs, legumes, nuts, and certain dairy products. We should mention one not so wonderful thing about protein. While it's a great tool for gaining weight, it's very filling, which means you might not be as hungry before eating your next meal. Something pretty key when it comes to gaining weight. How do you avoid this? There are things like protein supplements that come in a powder or power bar that you could look into. Since you're going the healthy route in your weight gain journey, you're probably thinking it's best to avoid carbs, right? Not so much. Healthline recommends eating foods that are high carb and high fat, along with all that protein we mentioned earlier. In order to gain more calories and still be hungry, you'll need those carbs and good fats. They also say you should try to eat at least 3 meals a day and have a few healthy snacks planned in between in order to reach your calorie goals. Things like fasting and eating smaller meals are great if you're looking to lose weight. But remember, you're trying to gain weight safely here, so different rules apply. You'll want to focus on foods that are single ingredient, aka non-processed. The more natural and organic, the better. Unfortunately, these healthy diets are pretty filling, but you'll be happy with the results and how great you feel once you get into a proper routine. Be sure to spice things up a bit when cooking as well, and we mean literally spice it up. Sauces and spices are your friends. They basically augment the taste of anything and everything. This'll have you craving something that's healthy and delicious, so you'll want to eat more of it as a result. Healthline has done some of the hard work for you and has given us a fantastic list of high-carb, high-fat foods that you can add to your diet. Thanks, Healthline! They include almonds, walnuts, macadamia nuts, peanuts, etc. Dried fruit like raisins, dates, and prunes. High-fat dairy like whole milk, full-fat yogurt, and cheese. Extra virgin olive oil and avocado oil are a great source of healthy fats. Whole grains like oats and brown rice. Chicken, beef, pork, and lamb. Make sure to choose fattier cuts. Potatoes like sweet potatoes and yams. Dark chocolate. Yay, you can have chocolate! Avocados, peanut butter, coconut milk, granola, and trail mixes. That should get you started. Although some of these foods are filling, who's gonna say no to another piece of chocolate? Oh, and here's something we thought we'd never say. You can avoid vegetables. We don't mean avoid them altogether, as they are vital to a healthy diet. But you don't have to focus on eating a totally plant-based diet. While vegetables are full of vitamins and nutrients our body needs, they're not going to help much in the calorie department. So don't neglect veggies altogether, just make sure you're including more of those foods from the list we mentioned earlier into your diet. One thing we've yet to mention is exercise. Sorry, just because you need to gain weight doesn't mean you can skip the gym. Remember talking about all those calories turning into muscle? Well, the only way they will do this is if you are building muscle, which means working out. One of the best ways to gain muscle is to lift weights. We know, sounds kind of daunting, but there are lots of special programs for beginners at your local gym, personal trainers, and guides that are waiting to help you along and who want you to succeed. You'll be a pro in no time, and remember, we all start somewhere. Lifting weights will help you to build muscle mass, which is what you want. Things like the treadmill or anything else cardio-heavy are great for your health, but they tend to burn up calories more quickly, so these are things that you shouldn't really focus on right now. Now that you have all these tips and tricks up your sleeve, here are a few easy things that you can incorporate into your daily routine that should help you along with your weight gain journey. They are: not drinking water before a meal, as water will make you feel fuller. Eating more frequently throughout the day, even if it's just a quick snack. Add cream to your coffee for a calorie boost in the morning. Eat your vegetables last, as they have less calories and you want to save your hunger for the good stuff, like avocados. Get a good night's sleep. This is pretty essential no matter what the situation. Getting a restful sleep will not only help you physically, it'll do wonders for you mentally. Check out some great Bestie videos for some awesome sleeping tips. Don't smoke. Not to nag, but smokers tend to be skinnier than non-smokers. Just one more thing you can do to reach a healthier you. And that's the video. Do you struggle with weight? Are you going to use some of the tips we gave you in this video in order to reach your goals? Do you have some great tricks for gaining weight you'd like to share with your fellow Bestie viewers? Why not write them in the comments section below? Enjoyed this video? Hit the like button and share with your friends. Also, subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. Thanks for watching.